Could a buy down be beneficial to your seller and buyer for that matter in the place of a price reduction? Well, I'm going to move really fast. I want to make this short. So let me just show you a scenario I've done here with some software I use. So by the way, you can note here that this scenario was generated on about a month ago, August 23rd. So unfortunately, rates are not at this level now, but I just left it the same just so we can do the comparison. So on a conventional purchase, this is a $300,000 purchase. The buyer is putting down 10%. Their rate at the time was 5.875. Their monthly payment was about $19.99. Well, for whatever reason, let's say, the home was not moving. Seller decided to drop the price, so they dropped it down by $19,000 to $281,000. So if you're the buyer, that means your loan amount is lower, rate's the same, so their payment drops down to $1,872, saving them about $126 a month. But as an alternative to dropping the purchase price, what if the seller offered a buy down to the buyer? So here's what that would look like. Sales price stays the same. Loan amount still 10% down at $270. But look at this. The rate goes down to 5.125. The seller is paying the lender to buy that rate down on the buyer's behalf. The payment goes down to virtually the same thing as it was with the price reduction of $19,000. Okay, so the buyer ends up in essentially the same place. What does this mean for the seller? Let's look over here at the closing costs. I've got it highlighted here. So the points to buy that rate down to 5.125 on this particular date was $4,725, $4,725. So let's go back. In this scenario, the cost to the seller is $19,000 because they dropped the price by $19,000. The cost here with the buy down is only $4,725. So that keeps around $14,000 in the seller's pocket. Well, what does it mean for the buyer? Well, here's the comparisons of the two options, or three options in this case. There's the monthly payments. Which one saves you the most money over the next 5 years or 60 months? It's the buy down. That one saves more money. Which one saves you the most interest over the longer term, over the first 15 years? It's the buy down. Look at that. You're paying about $16,000 less in interest by doing the buy down than you would as the buyer than you would be with doing the price reduction. So it's a win-win for everyone. The seller wins, they keep more money in their pocket. The buyer wins, they get the lower payment and they pay less interest over time. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the buy down, this is considered a seller concession. So it has to, whatever cost the seller is paying for has to stay under those seller concession limit guidelines. So if you're doing a 95% conventional loan, and by the way, this will work on all the programs, but if you're doing a 95% conventional loan, seller concessions are limited to 3%. If the loan amount is $200,000 or the purchase price is $200,000, 3% of that is $6,000. If the seller were already paying closing costs, well, then you don't really have any room to work with. With a 10% down payment, though, the seller can do up to 6% in seller concessions. In this case, on $300,000, that would be $18,000. Hope this information is helpful to you. If you'd like to know more or like for me to run some scenarios for one of your sellers or buyers, feel free to reach out. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon.